Joining me now, Democratic Congressman Gerry Connolly of Virginia. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee and the House Oversight and Accountability Committee. Congressman, welcome back
Great to be
to
with
the
you,
Sunday
Jonathan.
Show. So what does it mean to have a former president and presumptive Republican nominee and his allies refuse to commit to accept the 2024 presidential election?
I really think it's a dagger at the heart of American democracy. And this is truly a critical moment for Americans who love their country. We have an absolute demagogue who will stop at nothing to try to get back in the White House with lots of enablers among Republican ranks in Congress and throughout the country. And Americans have to understand the imminent threat he and that rhetoric represent.
Do you have any worry about the possibility of another January 6th style insurrection on January 6th, 2025?
Unfortunately, a number of Republicans in the Congress after January 6th characterized it as tourists who just got a little overexcited, minimizing and normalizing violence. And Trump has never made any secret in his rallies and in his statements that there's a subtext of violence that's permissible, at least under his banner. And so I think that's another part of the danger we face, that he is clearly setting the ground for more violence, more insurrection, and he gets to decide when and where and why.
President Biden has already said that he expects or doesn't expect Trump to accept the election results in November if he loses. So what is Congress doing to prepare for that possibility? I know you're technically in the minority as a Democrat, but what kind of discussions are members having about this, if any? Well,
we did pass one piece of legislation to clarify the role of the ceremonial event in after the election and the role of the vice president. But that alone isn't going to necessarily stop people from challenging the results. We have seen that when he says it's got to be fair, and his acolytes say that, like Lindsey Graham and others, well, who gets to decide what's fair? For example, they challenged election results in over 60 federal courts. They lost every single challenge. I'd call that a pretty strong judgment that was rendered by the federal judiciary that the election was fair and that Joe Biden clearly was elected president. They still don't accept it. So I think it's a real warning sign that no matter what, unless he wins, they're not going to accept the results of the forthcoming election in 2024.
Let me get you on one more thing, because on Thursday, the FBI warned that China, Russia, and Iran are among the foreign adversaries who are increasing their efforts to influence the November election, particularly with the use of artificial intelligence. Are we, as a nation, ready for what could be unleashed on us, unleashed on the American electorate?
I hope so, but I look back at the election in 2016, and there was clear Russian influence directly in the Trump campaign and in social media. They've only gotten better at it. And we've had prominent Republicans in the Congress, like Mike Turner, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, and Mike McCaul, chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, actually saying that they have colleagues in the Republican caucus who are repeating Russian bots, who are taking Russian material and mainstreaming it here in the United States through social media. That's a very, very troublesome development.